You're watching Rodimus Primal. It's going to be a great fun time because I'm here with my old friend Ray.
And I'm here with my friend Gary Chalk. So
we'll have an enjoyable time.
Whatever it is, enjoy it.
Consider supporting the channel on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can help us bring you more content like this.
Thundercats! Ho!
Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal. I am back with another video, and you guys will have to forgive me for having a little bit of a hoarse throat. I just got back from RetroCon in Oaks, Pennsylvania, which is about a 2-hour drive from where I am. I went with my buddy Mike again, as we did for Too Many Games. And yeah, after New York Comic Con and now RetroCon, I can thoroughly say I'm exhausted. But I'll tell you the reason why my throat is so hoarse is because on Saturday night, which was yesterday, as is when I'm recording this, I went to see Cybertronic Spree in concert, which was right across the street from where RetroCon was held. And they had a concert. If you've never heard of the Cybertronic Spree before, they are in full gear, dressed as different Transformers characters. The lead singers being Hot Rod and RC and Unicron, Quintesson, Rumble. I'm sure they have other band members as well. But they were all there. They were awesome. They were playing a bunch of different music from our past. They have some their own original stuff, and I actually want to plug their channel. I'm actually going to leave their link in the description below because they were really cool. I got to meet them at the convention ahead of time, and there was another awesome cosplayer as Galvatron, and see me pulling the Matrix here. It was a fun time, and I was screaming my head off because you've got to. It's like if you're going to be sitting there screaming, "You've got the touch," or "Dare to be stupid," or anything like that. I would hope to have done the full rendition of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme. They just did the opening 30-second part, but it was still cool. It was awesome. They're just just awesome. It was a really fun time hanging out with them before and after. Both Hot Rod and I broke the Matrix. I have to tell this story because it's the showrunner is the Tony and Rose. They have this toy Matrix which opens up and lights up. And, Rose handed me the Matrix, and, I go to pull it open, and I am pretending to fake having a hard time with it. And, then I actually legitimately tried to open it, and when I did, the plastic handle popped off. And she says, "Oh, it happens all the time. You just got to pop it back together." Well, when that happened, someone who was like right around was like, "Rodimus, you broke the Matrix." Like Galvatron sitting there saying, "You broke the Matrix. Just throw it away," or whatever. And it was an absolute hysterical moment.
You dropped it, didn't you? You broke the Matrix, didn't you?
Well, later on, the lead singer, Hot Rod, did the same thing, and he broke the Matrix as well. And then when they put it back together, he's like, "I don't want that responsibility." And then he also told me later on in the night, he's like, "Well, thank you for carrying on the name and taking on the responsibility." I was like, "Well, that was cool. That's awesome." And so. That it's my voice is like having a hard time speaking. I'm gonna have a wonderful time doing the Transformers Cyberverse episode reviews because I know the new episode just came out while I was away. And but while I was at the convention, here's something that was really cool. New York Comic Con is so big that you can't even see any of the toys at the vendors. RetroCon is really good if you want anything from box to loose to everything Transformers to anything toys. They've got art and everything, and there's a lot more room to move around. It's a smaller convention. It's at a smaller venue, so it's not like you have to worry about like not having any breathing room when you're trying to finagle your way around. But you can see a lot of cool stuff. I mean, and the thing is, they've got everything from wrestling toys to G.I. Joe toys to, you know, obviously Transformers. They've got Japanese imports. One of the cool things I saw, and you can see here, that he had it was loose for $600, was Master Force Metal Hawk. And you know, that's very expensive. And he had boxed as well. He had they were complete in box, but not mint in box or sealed, you know, mint sealed in box. He had Star Saber and Deathsaurus, and I was like, man, if I can get my hands on those, that would be something. Or maybe if they you know, actually came up with newer versions of those toys. More so than just that Siege on Cybertron box set, I think that he came in for Metal Hawk, and then having to get the separate armor. But it was like, that was a cool thing to see. And I saw different Japanese imports as well, and I was like, man, if I can get my hands on some of them, it'd be really cool as well. Here's how I actually want to talk about some of my pickups that I had got. First one I want to say that I've got I think it's Henkei tracks, because it's not Turbo Tracks, which was the one that had the rub symbol on his chest. No, this is the Japanese version. So it has the Autobot symbol on his chest. He's got a much more shiny finish to him, and he has the flames just like his G1 self on his car hood. And I already have this mold as Wheeljack, so I was happy to get him. Just because I missed out on Turbo Tracks. I couldn't find him in stores at the time that he was released. And I was like, I really, really wanted Tracks, because Tracks is awesome. You know, you may not like the character himself, but, you know, I always thought he was kind of cool. I always thought it was a cool design to have, like, you know, the missile launchers on his, on his back, and he's got the wings, he's got the flying car mode. And the mold itself is a really good update to the character, so I was really happy to get him. I also picked up its Generations Rat Trap. I got him in box, you know, or on card, I should say. And as well as I also got Hoist. So I really wanted to get these two. And I got a fair price on the two of them. A lot of vendors, this is the thing, New York Comic Con, for whatever reason, the same toys that I saw at RetroCon were $10 to $15, sometimes even $20 less than what they were selling at New York Comic Con. And what they were selling for New York Comic Con sometimes is even more than what they're selling on eBay. And I was just like, wow, some of the vendors are just basically really jacking up the prices for buying stuff at a bigger convention like that. It was astounding. It's like you're able to finally pick up some of these toys and not have to worry about like spending so much money. And, you know, I also, while I was there, I ran into Pixel Dan. He was a really, really nice guy. Maybe sometime in the future, he and I could do some sort of a collab. I know he's not really into Transformers. He's more into Masters of the Universe, which would be cool because I'd love to talk lots of stuff about Masters of the Universe. And maybe if he wants to talk some stuff about Transformers, he and I can, you know, cross some information. I also met Dan from Toy Galaxy. He was a really nice guy. He handed me one of his buttons. I didn't get a chance to get a picture with him, but it was really cool. I also met a couple of other people that are also subscribers to the channel. I know, I think it's 8-Byte Brian, if I'm calling your name out right, and a couple other folks as well. And then getting to meet some of the voice actors. The voice actors was actually really fun. I mean, obviously, so I met Gary Chalk, and I met Greg Berger, and I also met, you know, BJ Ward, who, and if you don't know who BJ Ward is, she was the voice of Scarlet in G.I. Joe. She was the voice of Allura in the original 80s Voltron cartoon. And she was just an absolutely nice woman. I really, you know, it was really interesting for her because she didn't realize that people actually cared and considered her for, you know, to come to a convention and actually be, you know, treated so nicely, because everybody's lining up for Gary, everybody's lining up for Greg, and you know, Greg Berger and Gary Chalk were really nice guys. They like to talk. Larry Kenny, who is the voice of Lion-O. He was really, really nice. I actually ran into him at the hotel that I was staying at, and I bumped into him, and I was kind of like, oh, you're Larry Kenny, and I'm actually going to the convention to see you. And then I actually saw him at the con, and he was just really, really nice. Cool guy. I didn't get a chance to meet Samantha Newark. I wanted to, because she's also the voice of Ariel in Transformers, in addition to being the voice of Jem in the original 80s cartoon. Just her line was really long. A lot of girls really wanted to meet her, which was cool. Maybe I'll get my daughter to start watching that, in addition to having her play with my Transformers. In fact, when I brought Trax home today, my daughter, she had missed me, so she wanted to play with Trax. I had him in car mode, and she's sitting there driving him around the living room before I put her to bed to record this video. And that was fun. But and I had a blast while I was there. And let me tell you something, that having that convention being so small as it is a really good convention to go to. I definitely recommend going to it. And I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, all right, Rodimus, you went to 2 conventions over the past 2 weeks, and some of the stuff you've had is just like it's taking some of your energy and time and out. And yes, I do have a newborn, and yes, I have a toddler to take care of, and I want to be bringing you guys more Transformers stuff soon too. In fact, someone I met at RetroCon is somebody I'm actually going to have a video for. It's something really, really cool, big time Transformers related. I think you guys are really, really going to appreciate that one. Because I'm going to start putting some research together to actually make a really cool video for him. It has something to do with G1 when it first came out, and it's something really cool. But on top of that, I've got some Cyberverse episodes that I've got to finish editing. I've got to record the one for the new episode because I have not seen that one yet. And I also need to get you guys the next Transformers discussion. It's going to be some sort of Halloween special. It's not going to be Starscream's Ghost because I already covered that one. I saw the comment on that over the weekend. But I also did the revival of Optimus. But it is going to be something interesting that I've been doing some looking on research for this particular character that will work for a good Halloween episode since it is October. But I'm excited for it, so I hope you. And then after that, I have some more Transformers discussions that I'm actually starting the scripts for. Just got to get the details worked out.
Hi, I'm Larry Kenny, the voice of Lion-O on Thundercats. And if you like this video,